Hey everyone, welcome to week 13 of the college football season. This is pretty much the last week of the regular season before the conference championships next week. It's a big holiday weekend. I'm here in Tulsa, Oklahoma this week, enjoying some time with my mom. And here are this week's picks. Let's start off with the big Friday night game. We have number 6 Oklahoma traveling to number 13 West Virginia. Obviously, this is going to be a matchup between two high potent offenses against two pretty lacking defenses. So this could easily be a game where the winning team might have to score 60 literally to win this game. You know, I'm an OU guy. I'm gonna have to pick OU. I think it could be a toss-up. I could easily see going either way. But usually Lincoln Riley has a way to fire up the troops when they need to be fired up. So I'm going to go ahead and pick OU to beat West Virginia on Friday night. Saturday is another great set of games across the board. Let's start off with the Apple Cup in the Pac-12. We have number 16 Washington traveling to number 8 Washington State. Washington State obviously is still looking for a playoff spot themselves, but Washington's played a lot better over the past 2 or 3 weeks. I think they're going to be able to go in and upset Washington State in this game. I think Washington State's going to have a lot of pressure on them. I think ultimately that pressure is going to get to them. I'm going to pick Washington to upset Washington State in the Apple Cup. The next big matchup that's coming up on Saturday is obviously number 4 Michigan traveling to number 10 Ohio State. Ohio State has really struggled over the last 2 or 3 weeks. They probably should have lost to Maryland last week. They found a way to pull it off when Maryland missed a 2-point conversion. I think Michigan, they're going to have a lot of pressure on them, but I don't think Ohio State is ultimately going to stop them. So I'm going to pick Michigan to win over Ohio State in Columbus. The next matchup is an ACC matchup. We have number 20 Syracuse traveling to Boston College. Boston College, the first half this year looked great. You thought they were really going places, but they have really struggled over the last couple weeks. Syracuse hasn't really looked that much better, but I think that they have more than Boston College will. So I think Syracuse will win over Boston College in the ACC. Let's go to the Battle of Florida. We had number 11 Florida traveling to Florida State in a rivalry game this week. If you haven't been paying attention, Florida State looked horrible the first half of the year, but they've kind of turned things around over the past few weeks. They have a chance still to make a bowl game if they can win this game. But Florida, I think, will be too much for them. I think Florida will be able to go into Tallahassee and win that game. If you haven't picked up on the theme, I'm picking almost all road teams this week. But Florida will win at Florida State this week. Let's go to the one game where I am picking the home team to win this week. We have Auburn traveling to number 1 Alabama. In-state rivalry games, sometimes weird things happen, but it's not going to happen in this game. Number 1 Alabama will win very convincingly over Auburn at home. Let's go to another ACC matchup. We have number 24 Pitt traveling to Miami. Pitt, needs to keep their momentum up. Miami has just not looked very good the second half of the season. There's a lot of turmoil around their coach going on right now, and so because of that, I think Pitt will probably win pretty convincingly in this game. So I'm going to pick Pitt over Miami. Another big SEC matchup this week. You have number 7 LSU traveling to number 22 Texas A&M. This is a matchup where I wouldn't be surprised if A&M pulled off an upset at home, but I can't go for that as far as my pick is concerned. I think LSU will be too much for them, so I'm going to pick LSU to win over A&M in College Station. Let's go back to the West Coast. We have number 3 Notre Dame traveling to USC. I would love for USC to have a chance in this game. I've liked picking against Notre Dame this season, especially because for Oklahoma to have any chance to make the playoffs, Notre Dame or Michigan's going to have to lose, and this is Notre Dame's last chance. But USC is just way too down this year. I don't think they have a chance to pulling the upset here. So I'm going to pick number 3 Notre Dame to win over USC. In our last game of the week is a ranked matchup between Mountain West teams. We have number 21 Utah State traveling to 23 Boise State. Utah State struggled a little bit last week, but they've looked good throughout most of the season. Boise State's usually a really good team at home, but I think Utah State will find a way to pull it out. So I'm going to pick Utah State to win over Boise State. So those are my matchups for this week. 9 road teams I have winning, compared to only 1 home team. So we'll see how those road teams do and how we end up with our last week of the regular season. In the meantime, I hope everybody has an amazing Thanksgiving holiday. Enjoy the last week of the regular season. I will be back next week to do some predictions for all of the conference championships. In the meantime, enjoy the games this weekend, everyone.